Hello everyone, this is AmberAnkNA here. Welcome to my channel. Well, I play a variety of games and do narrations for fanfics. I'm really hoping you enjoy my content. If you do, make sure to comment below, leave a like, and subscribe with the notifications on. Right, until next time, this is AmberAnkNA. Welcome to my channel. So, hi. Death Row, Chapter 14, the final countdown. Before. Got the Governor on the phone now, Jack. The head of the news outlet confirmed. How are you doing today, Governor Prescott? I trust the connection has occurred, the politician asked before continuing. Same as last time, sir. Good. What do we have, gentlemen? Our last arraignment paid off big time. Hope this one will be just as your alternative. As you know, a murder took place in Acadia Bay, Oregon. Listen, cleared his throat and then continued. The figure was a costly celebrity too. Ah, yes, Acadia Bay. My brother, Sean, practically controls the entire state. So what do you need from me? That woman is overwhelming. Wait, Jack? She's guilty, no question. Old Jane Joe pulled the trigger, but looks ago doesn't lie. The problem is the murder took place in Oregon. We need the trial moved to California so it can take advantage of our laws. Jack's prison can handle the lockup, and if we push for the death penalty, be looking at a similar playout as last time, if not more. Do you think he'll fight it, gentlemen? Does he have family and might cause a wrath? I'm confident my brother could get the sentences required to turn it over to us, but if he pushes back, it might not be so easily. Well, she taken a vow of silence. The lawyer responded, there was a weird DNA issue. We're not really sure what happened there, but we have no idea who she actually is. Her Germany seems to match another girl who had actually been murdered too. It's a very bizarre case. That's the only case, Governor. Weston hesitantly interjected. Her identity matches the girl your master sought and killed in the back of West Room. At least that's what it appears. We all know it's impossible. The photologic labs can't explain it, except to say that it's known that there are a real handful of cases where the tests simply don't work correctly. Oh. Silence fell over the conversation for a moment before the politician responded. Yeah, I know a good bit about the background motive for obvious reasons. Now you're saying it might somehow be connected to this new murder? It's the same, really. My brother's arraignment with the photographer was really profitable for our family. He cleaned that mess up the best he could. But if these murders are somehow connected, it feels a little too close for comfort. I'm not sure I want to be involved now. There's nothing to worry about, sir. Our only opponent is public prosecution. Let me take care of the media narrative. It is my job, you know, and I'm damn good at it. When I'm finished with this, all they see is a filthy murderer getting what she deserves. We keep her pictures to a minimum and slide it under the radar. We don't have to make any professional details public, By the time the execution rolls around, it won't matter who the hell she is. Poll numbers do show my voting contributions either favor capital punishment or are different. If I could keep my base happy, make some money, I guess his arrangement will still work. Yes, sure. The prison grants and contracts are so loosely written. This buddy will be like taking candy from a baby. Plus, we now have that other line of funding I told you about. The non-profit anti-capital punishment group essentially works for us now. The leader is a rule breaker, a rebel. See, funnel funds are way short-term. If we could assure the goal is put to death, apparently Sabri's one life is a necessary and worthy sacrifice to go her movement. She thinks she's playing a game of chess here, when she's already got checkered pieces. Both Weston and Governor Prescott snickered. As for me, the warrant spoke up, I hate to have to cut you out. I know you're getting close to retirement. As for me, I could barely afford travel for my aunt, even with our last payment. I've done some stuff I'm not proud of over the years, but this might take the cake. I know that girl killed a man, but we don't even know whose side of her actual identity. Is this going to be an issue, cousin? I hate to have to cut you out. I know you're getting close to retirement. It's fine. We all have our reasons, and we end this together. No issues here, Wes. It's been a pleasure. We see the course of the channel to be due, isn't? It looks like we're gonna make some good money. I got a fundraiser I need to run to now. I check back in 1 week from today. Get to work, gentlemen. Sounds good, gentlemen. Take care. Goodbye, sir. Now, 6 p.m. Witness arrival. When the meal was finished, the warrant stood and walked around the table, helping Chloe to her feet. Laying one hand flat on her interior shoulder, the man shook his head. We had a number of prisoners come and go. I've seen some of the most interesting people I've ever met during my career here. But, Jane, I meant it when I said I miss you the most. I can't quite put my finger on why, but there's something special about you. Anyhow. He removed his hands from the girl's shoulder and received the weight that was still clipped to his belt. The man turned away and gave instructions over the communication device to someone on the other end about letting people inside. Witnesses will begin arriving soon. A slightly tiresome, if disappointed tone lined the man's words. He clipped the radio back to his belt and turned to steal a gaze with the girl. We get them settled and walk you to the execution chamber. You have 120 seconds to give your final thoughts. Hope you do too. One last time hearing your voice would be very nice. Then we get on with it. After Lawrence spoke, she thought to herself that it would be really nice to hear the love of her life speak again. In her heart, the girl's voice was the most amazing thing she ever heard. Despite how late it was in the day, she knew Max was going to save her. She just hoped for a little reassurance. If she were going to die today, that would be her final wish. To see one final moment where the two could simply exist together. Ow! My head! Max placed her palm on her forehead and blinked several times, covering the fogginess from her view. Lowering her hand a few inches, she insistently checked her nose and above her lip. With the opposite hand, she adjusted the rearview mirror to see herself in the reflection. To her surprise, the dried, flaking blood was much less than expected. She received an napkin for the glove apartment and wiped her face clean. Through the windows, she scanned the outside area. It looked similar to how it was that morning, except the sun was in the opposite sky. It wasn't daybreak anymore. Evening was rolling in. The photographer gazed down at the digital clock among the other dashboard displays, realizing the tiny letters beside 6:55 read PM. Oh no. Fuck! Max noticed the gate had been unlocked and open, and there were fresh tire tracks besides the vacant guard station. She couldn't see the prison from her position, but it was clear others had arrived to witness the execution. No! Fuck! No! Despite her trembling hands, she shifted the keys in the ignition, cranking her car. Panic was forcing bile to burn the lower portion of her throat, but she knew there was no time to worry about herself. She considered rewinding a little, buy some more time. But the girl was clearly understood that her power had limitations and consequential side effects. If she had any sort of saving Chloe, she would need every bit of energy she could produce. Having backed into the parking space earlier, Max pulled straight out and turned onto the small road leading up to the prison. There wasn't a second to spare. She pushed the gas pedal to the floor, squeaking her tires in the process. Quickly fishing her frontal heroin media badge from her bag, she came to the stop beside the second checkpoint and handed the badge to the guard. The man pulled out a 2-page document with names listed in alphabetical order. He scanned the top page, found her name, and required the impatient driver to mark her attendance with initials. She rapidly took the pen and paper and added MC beside her name. The guard received the document and pushed a button at his workstation, releasing the mechanism that held the gate shut. And the arms wise matched for the gas pedal again, practically making her way forward. As she pressed the small pedal with an inhale that led toward destination, she saw a group of vehicles parked in front of a smaller building that connected to the main area. It was no doubt the space where the execution was scheduled to take place. It started to be squeezed the driver's body at the front, though it didn't impact her will to continue pushing forward. She barely slowed, slamming down the car's brakes at the last moment, and announcing her presence as the swishing tires left a black smoking trail in her wake. The car was left horizontally in the front, with a small disregard for the paint on the asphalt, decidedly spots where the vehicles were supposed to be parked. Max grabbed her bag and dropped out of the car, sprinting up the stairs, taking 2 at a time to the front of the building. A same ticking sensation on the back of her neck was operative for a brief second prior to opening the door. It was as if time ceased to move in an almost undetectable moment. She struck it off and gripped both handles, pulling outward and stepping inside. 7 p.m. Final walk. The one stayed in the room with Chloe for the last several minutes. He didn't speak directly to her much. His focus was instead on answering multiple radio and phone calls, discussing details about her impending death that she wished she hadn't overheard. She listened in as the man received word that it was time to proceed. Yes, go, Jade. Chloe suddenly felt the temperature in the room increasing through a blazing wave of fear. Her faith in Max was wavering, as she hated herself for it. If Beth hadn't saved her yet, it must be part of her plan. Otherwise, something bad had happened to the girl, and that was a thought she didn't want to consider. a mixture of mortal terror and an urgency to survive and a dying wish to see Mass again, concentrated in her mind, clawing at her heart like prey in a beast's clutches, readying itself for the kill. As he approached the side door leading to the induction chamber, several guards and a couple of medical professionals entered the room. Additional restraints were secured to the inmates' shackles for the short walk, including heavy ankle cuffs he hadn't previously had to wear. The execution required all prisoners to have periodical health checkups, but Corey didn't recognize the man nor woman in Doctor's garb. Dr. Black, as her name badge read, stepped forward, leaned in, and then whispered in the prisoner's ears. "It doesn't hurt. It'll be over before you even know it." Quicker and gentler than falling asleep. Her hair looked similar to Mass's, but longer and wavier. She was a couple of inches taller too, but still shorter than Chloe. As he back from the doctor's face, Chloe looked deep into her almost familiar gray eyes. The deep sadness projecting outward. "Sometimes I hate my job." The line began after lowering her voice. "I'm more of a specialist now. Most doctors don't usually attend the actual execution since it is against the code of contact. Jack brought me in because of my flawless track record. It's important to me that the dosage is correct and there's no negative effects. If humans are so fucking barbaric to agree on ending someone's life, I can at least make sure there's no pain. We all have to die at some point. It totally sucked for most of us. I have the power to take the pain away." Corey nodded and the daughter rejoined her colleague just beyond the open door. From the little case, and the prisoner couldn't quite see into the execution chamber. She hoped Mass was sitting in the front row, ably ready to do whatever she had planned to do. To her dismay, as they started walking, she noticed the current between the viewing area and the chamber was down, blocking even a pair of the others beyond the glass. She heard muffled conversations through the wall, but none of the voices could be distinguished. It sent an eerie chill through her extremities, knowing a room full of people were anticipating watching life slip from her grip and her body pass away. It was such a morbid idea that people chose to be in that exact location to watch her die. Time seemed to slow as a tiny tickle trailed down her neck, but she didn't think it was Mass's doing. Her eyes fused from the current blocked window to the guttery where she was being led. Her swings were removed so the team could then strap the inmate in. The guards readied themselves in case the girl tried anything at the last moment. "Do you understand what's happening here today?" Dolan asked as he held a sheet of paper up, leaning the step in front of him. The girl nervously bobbed her head in confirmation. The metal chains and cuffs were gathered from the pile and located from the chamber. The prison staff surrounding Chloe continued prepping the guttery straps. "When the turrets are drawn, you will have 2 minutes for any final statements. Use this time to make peace in this life and hope for a better one in the next. After your soul leaves and the time of death is declared, we will dispose of your remains per the last testament documents. Since you refuse to complete the forms, the state will choose the most cost-effective arrangements, which is cremation of the body." The man pointed to the guard nearest the currents and pointed, "Go ahead, Jez." And the witness room was revealed. Chloe feverishly scanned the individuals in the attendance, eyes darting from one person to the other. A couple of police officers, several reporters with notepads and tape recorders, a blonde chain in the back with a streak of red in her veins, several men in suits, and others he couldn't place. Her heart fractured into 1,000 pieces, sinking to the pits of her soles. When she couldn't locate Mass, a suffering numbness flooded through her, eyes beginning to gaze as she was coming to terms with her fate. Another thought crossed her mind that she hadn't considered previously. As she found herself on the cliff after Mass photo dropped back to the bathroom to prevent the storm, there was some form of her had been murdered and left to die on the floor. Chloe was safely in her original timeline, but Math allowed another version of herself to die. At least that's what she thought. What if Math already used a photo to jump back in time? Similarly, saving a different version of Chloe, but this time she was the version that was left behind. Oh, fuck. The prisoner whispered to herself, too quiet for anyone else to hear. God damn it, why didn't I think of that? Shit. She left me. Again. Tears began to slide down her cheeks, realizing she was on her own now. Nothing was safer from what was coming, and death was there to collect. Her soul was laden with despair and sorrow. She didn't mourn for her own death. That was now an analogy. She mourned for her future with Mass that was now dead and would never be realized. No fucking way. She wouldn't do that. Not her. She's my Mass. Suddenly the door burst open, and her favorite person was standing in the doorway, out of breath. The setting sun behind her spilled into the room, creating an eclipse-like effect around the girl. She looked like a superhero wanting to fight the bad guys, just in the nick of time. Chloe's heart nearly shot from her chest, as her body trembled at such a beautiful sight. Mask ran to the front and pressed both hands on her face against the viewing windows of the Moose, who feel the cold surface. Chloe! My Chloe! Taking the cue, the prisoner shoved the nearest guard into the others, causing half of the people in the adjustment chamber to trample over like dominoes. Mass! Breaking free, she went to the grass and pressed her palms to the opposite side of where her best friend's hands were held. For the brief time, the girls were together again, where Mass began and where Chloe ended momentarily became one and the same. Their spirits were in complete alignment, and they were each overjoyed to be in the presence of the other. Both girls unknowingly shut their eyes to simply exist together before the gravity of the situation took hold. Chloe reopened hers and saw the weariness in Mass's. She seen that look on the photograph's face before and knew what it meant. How many times have you rewound, Mass? She hollered through the window. How many times? Too many, Chloe. I'm not sure I can do it again. As soon as the words flowed from her mouth, she was snatched by the shoulders and thrown to the floor. When her body struck the ground, another tremendous high-pitched tone pierced through Mass's mind as it had earlier that morning. Everything became distant and dull. The execution chamber and witness room started spinning, and a flash of light replaced tamed ability while a fog of nothingness encapsulated the girl. The universe breathed from her view, her mind drifting away from her body. She fought against it and restricted the nearly overwhelming urge to pass out once more. The reality stirred in through a heavily vibrating vortex of spinning spirals that seemed to quickly vanish, disappearing and trailing in towards her chest. Mastically pulled herself forward on the cold floor, barely holding her head upright. After being struck and thrown down by an armed guard through the foggy glass that separated the viewing area from the induction chamber. She watched as Chloe mouthed the words, "Even when we're not," in slow motion, a look of panic on her face. Though tightly restrained at the arms, legs, and torso, the inmate struggled from the chair with the medical staff and several other guards, including the warrants surrounded her. Tears and sweat seemed down both the prisoners' and photographers' faces as they realized their fight was coming to an end. Eyes locked on each other one final time. Master's depleted energy wouldn't allow her enough space to do much more than hold her body upright. She searched deep within herself for one last rewind, but she couldn't even release a trickle of her power. Having attempted to change her partner in time's fate over a dozen times already, there simply wasn't anything left. Someone was crossing over her, but she couldn't tell who it was from her spot on the floor. "Believe in yourself, Mass. You still have the power to save her. Don't give up. You got this. All that matters." A teenage girl's voice called out from the distance, filling the brunette's heart with vigor. With a newfound strength to move forward, Mass felt a seed of confidence shoot up through the soil of her self-doubt and begin to bloom. She prohibited her body just in time to see the teen wave her hand through a short chopped blonde hair, turn to look back once again, then push the door open and disappear outside. Extending her arm and holding out her hand, she fought to rewind again. Like a waking dream from an out-of-body experience, the pain was desolated and forced to the far stretches of her mind. Reality froze in place, as she remembered a previous instance when her powers seemed to fail her. She once charged to the roof of the background doors under similar circumstances, where she stopped Kate Moss from dropping. Mass knew it wasn't her power failing her, as she resolutely believed. It was her own understanding of it that needed updating. I got this. I'm coming for you, Chloe. The time tower pushed herself off the ground and turned to avoid the guard who remained in a supinated state. One baby step at a time, Mass made her way around the other witnesses to the side door and into the induction chamber, where Chloe also remained frozen in place. She quickly removed the restraining straps and wrapped one arm around the girl's waist. Mass strained harder than she ever had before, seeing a pushing away from her rewind that weighted it outward. The spiral column appeared and, rather than fight against it, causing her to lose 3 months of her life again. She waited for the vacuum-like situation to start. Instead of resisting, she allowed the current to pull her and Chloe inside, both vanishing from the chamber and leaving the prison in her wake. Hi everyone. This is AmberAnkNA again. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Because, I really did enjoy making it. But, so I hope you enjoyed it. Comment, like, and subscribe with the notifications on down below. Till next time, bye!